Well, let's put all this together now and talk to Xiaolin Chen, Head of International at KraneShares. Xiaolin, good to have you back. Good to see you. Which sectors or industries are driving this rally, and are there any key stocks that perhaps are leading the charge?
Thank you for having me on your show. Initially, it's broader beta ready, I'd say. So far, you see almost across sectors for Chinese stocks broadly rallied on back of the policy easing news. Eventually, there will be winners and leaders. It's a great question. There will be leaders. But if you look at the policy, you see they really targeted on recovery of the consumer power, consumer sentiments, helping the household to have more disposable income. Eventually, you will see the consumer stock will become the leader in overall the rally. And in the long term, if you look at certain period of time when China starts had a rally, which sector usually give you the most up capture? That's also consumer-led stocks.
Is the Beijing stimulus going to be enough, though? That's the big question, isn't it? I mean, do you expect more stimulus from Beijing, or is the package just announced really going to be enough to stabilize the economy and meet China's growth targets?
This time around is very different. They announced a lot of new policy tools, as well as additional fundings available to the equity market, to the social housing, to real estate, from almost all fronts. Me personally, at KraneShares, we expect stimulus to come, but they beat our expectation on all fronts. This is one. Second, also you see their attitude, their intention when they were delivering all these things at the press conference. The governor, Chen, who is the boss of PBOC, he literally said 500 billion to start with this equity exchange program. He said we could do another 500 billion, and if needed, we can do another 500 billion. It's really them to show the broader market, listen, we are ready to do whatever it takes to get the market back and get investors' confidence back. This is almost, you felt, remember the old saying, you don't fight with the Fed, and Barry Draghi used to say, we do whatever it takes to get the market back. I think China just delivered a double act in one action.
The People's Bank of China unveiled a lending pool to support share buybacks and stock market investment. Is there a possibility there that that approach perhaps leads to volatility further down the road?
At this juncture, I think it's really confidence and really free for the corporates to have more cash in hand. A lot of them have great business, to be fair. They have a solid base in their domestic market. With the additional injection liquidity, they did say if we use it rightly, we have another 300 billion to come. This is the key. I think a lot of firms will use this as an opportunity to expand their business, to go international. Just set by the example by Alibaba, by Tmall, by all these, even NEO and BYD is all internationalizing their business. I think corporate will feel a huge relief to reduce the cost of borrowing, have free cash come in, not free cash, obviously, the liquidity come into their company. They can start to expand more quickly, rapidly.
Now, while you're there, just help us with one more thing. As you know, I'm a rather dim journalist. Let's get this right. Stocks are up, industrial metals surging, oil prices remain relatively flat. I mean, why hasn't the stimulus had the same effect on the oil business?
That's a great question. It felt like oil has been left out, not invited to the party. But I think it is mainly due to the oversupply issue with what we face with the oil market. I do think when things stay settled, oil will, enjoy, along with the most of industrial metal that had a rally, together with this easing package. And I do expect that more package to be announced by Beijing, particularly touch on industries, to particularly touch on which sector they're going to heavily invest and focus on. That eventually will help commodity as a whole.
Xiaolin, good to see you. Have a good weekend. Thanks for coming on the show. Xiaolin Chen, Head of International at KraneShares in London.